Bot's working, Link's working, chat's working, stream's up and running. Alright. Let's get this shit started. Alright. Ready the timer. So something I wanted to do here is I wanted to have... I wanted the cooldown of this to start earlier, basically. Because I figured the earlier I can start the cooldown, the quicker it'll be up. My hope is that I can get over to these guys, but it doesn't look like that's the case. But that does mean that I can shoot this guy and immediately go into dance. I don't have to wait for it at all. So I might have to start the dance, like, even before the pull is over, just to be, like, safe with it. And then we use Tech Step. Pray we kill it in one hit. If not, that's going to be a problem. Alright, it's not that big of a deal. Did manage to make it work regardless. These guys I can just kill no problem. You can sprint basically uninterrupted to the end of this. The only issue is going to be the waiting for the things to spawn. I did do some testing here. Getting to the end, getting everything to spawn, and then waiting here with standard step rather is just the best thing to do. Wait till they're all in range and just destroy them immediately. Because without a reliable way to do like saber dance, there's no real way that that's like any faster. There's no real way to do that any faster, I should say. So like I have been doing some research on like ways to make this run faster for sure. I've not just been resting on my laurels of having a quote-unquote free world record or whatever the fuck, right? Hey, yeah. How you doing, Lily? Good to see you. Alright, the hope here is that he dies quickly. Yeah, I should have saber danced. The hope there by using that sprint is that he dies quickly, but he didn't. So I had the saber dance. I should have just used it. It's fine though. It's been well. That is great to hear. I am very happy to hear that. Flourish here. Right, yeah. I don't need to use En Avant there because I'll reach it. Using En Avant is really only useful for getting closer from like a further distance. At the time I have to wait for this anyway. And then we standard step here because it'll be up for the boss. Alright, and Devilment into Tech Step. .1. That's unfortunate. There's not enough variance on the damage there. It was enough to get a gold though, so the research is definitely doing its work. There's definitely, like, I definitely understand that this isn't the most visually appealing speedrun, right? And a big part of, like, what makes a speedrun fun to watch is the visual appeal, right? Whether a speedrun is fun to do versus fun to watch is, like, completely different things. That one, please. A little bit unfortunate with the damage luck there. Probably should have just tech-stepped it. Especially, yeah, right. There's the fucking auto-scroller section here. It means that tech-step is usually up for the second boss regardless. So there really isn't much of a reason for me to... Really isn't much of a reason for me to not use tech-step there. Apologies for the cough. I've had this cough for like a couple weeks now. I'm assuming it's due to just like dust and allergies of it being like the September season, basically. It's not serious, and it's like it flares up and down. But I do apologize regardless for, you know, the coughing on stream into the microphone. Cannot be very fun, I imagine. Alright, getting at least like one of these procs would be nice. One fan dance proc would be great. Just one. Nope. So unlucky, dude. Okay. Maybe I can get it off this Flourishing Cascade. Okay, cool. I got it off the Cascade. So the reason I want at least one proc here is I want as much damage as possible here to be able to just sprint past them while continuing to run. Getting that extra fan dance too there was just a bonus. Click. Accidentally hit my improvisation button. Any procs I get here are bonus. They're not necessarily required, but they would help immensely. Alright, no-go on the first one, which means I'm basically gonna have a no-go period. And then I prep tech step. Wait for them both to get close to me. Right about here, we devilment. Ready technical step. It's ready to go for when the boss happens. We can go straight into... Perfect. Skip the invuln phase. That was a bit of a late split, but that's still fine. Yeah, my planning has definitely gotten a lot better for these. Like, I'm still getting golds all over the place, which is really nice. This one's really awkward. Because I used to start by sprinting right away. But I recently, I labbed it out, and I don't want to sprint right away, despite the potential benefits. Ah. Okay, yeah. That was definitely me being overzealous. Just assuming that that would work. The benefits of sprinting later definitely in this dungeon outweigh the sprint right out of the gate. Sometimes getting more sprint is better, sometimes saving sprint for the right location is better, and it's completely dungeon to dungeon, it's never consistent. So, have to take that into account when doing things. This guy's an absolute bitch. Okay, thank goodness. He at least died. Unlike in other slopes, it's not really faster to use on a on-off those, but it still looks funny. So now we're going to hit sprint now. Just before it deals damage to us, so we get the full duration. We'll also make sure to target the dragon. Make use of auto attacks. We're going to prep a standard step here. The reason we're doing a standard step here is we'll wait for all of these guys to spawn, kill them instantly, and the standard step will be up for the next boss. The only thing I need to remember is to kill all the enemies. The main thing about these guys that sucks is the final yip. It takes long for them to get off of my aggro list, which means I can't activate Peloton. So we're going to pre-pop flourish, ready our standard step. A little bit unlucky with damage numbers there. Definitely wanted higher bursts. Ideally, we kill him before we reach the gate, so we maximize... This was a bad sprint. I forgot it wasn't here that I was supposed to use sprint. Still get a decent use out of it, but I want to use sprint after this section, because no matter what, I will always lose time for sprinting here because of the falling pillars. This is another location where we prep standard step. Kill these guys in a heartbeat. This guy will take a little bit extra damage because of the 50% reduced potency on every target after the first, but it still goes down relatively quickly. The main thing to note here is these are going to aggro to me no matter what, but I want to go as far as I can with Peloton ignoring them. I do still have to kill them regardless. The funny thing is, I only have to kill those guys and then this gate appears. So now that's happened, and I'm going to prep Devilment and Technical Step. And the main thing here is I want to be inside Nidhogg's hitbox. Wow, I one-shot him. What? Jesus, what? Holy moly, dude. I fucked that up, too. I'm not supposed to do that, because if I do it wrong, I have the potential to hit his ad phase, which is like a 3-minute time loss. I got really lucky. bursting him 100 to 0. That is not something you want to rely on. You do not want to rely on luck there in any capacity. Getting a proc there was really good. So we prep standard here, so we can get everybody through this gate. Kill them all in one go, no issue. And the great thing about this guy is he's gonna just immediately go into his ad phase. He's gonna go into his second phase immediately. So we can use that to build up technical step. Ideally we kill him in one hit, but not every time. Ideally, he does die in one hit for sure, but you can't guarantee that. Yeah, no, the strat hunting that I was doing has definitely been paying off. That area thing was 100% just insta bursting Nidhogg like that. Like, it's not, again, not something you should rely on. And it's right about here. Yep. So there is a spot where I can do this. It's not there, okay. I need to have the range and line of sight on both of those guys to hit them with that standard step. It is possible to do, and it will save, like, you know, 5 seconds because of GCDs. But if I miss it, then there's nothing I can do. I just gotta roll with it.
I'll cut you to pieces! I will not yield to you!
Prep standard step right away. Alright, perfect. So the main thing to note about the bosses in the vault is even after they disappear from the aggro list, they will still register as in combat with you a long distance after they're done. Like, as you can see, I got a 10-second sprint there. That is how long they still register you as in combat, despite them being gone from the aggro list. It is honestly a little bit ridiculous. So we prep standard step for these guys. We can kill them all in one hit. Presumably we killed them all in one hit, but one being alive is fine. So there's a specific thing I want to do here. I want to get him to about 60%, just above 60% HP. And then I want to use technical step. God damn it, auto attacks. I keep forgetting that you're still auto attacking during dances. Well, that sucks. Yeah. Not skipping this guy's phase is pretty huge. It's a huge time loss. It's not as big as Nidhogg's, but it is still very big. I keep forgetting that you continue to auto attack, so I should probably layer it more for like 70% plus than 60. That's unlucky. That's what happens, but that's still unlucky. Alright, Alright, I didn't do any research for Gooball Library because, you know, I figured I could do the research in here. There's a lot of fucking books in here. It's a funny joke, guys. Laugh. The fact that Tech Step no longer insta-bursts things at this point is a huge factor in deciding what you want to do in regard to planning out your cooldown timings and everything. Like, this door, it's not like one you could run through the moment it starts moving, so, like, me not being right on top of it as that was happening is not actually that big of a deal. Like, it's basically not even a time loss at all. But, yeah, you can still, it's still a good idea to prep standard step in a lot of locations. Just to make sure that you're killing things. Just because, you, like, if you don't have access to sprint, standard step is a great way to, like, be able to kill mobs quickly. Cool. You want to hold sprints just before you run into enemies. Because as I mentioned, when you're in combat, sprint's duration is halved. So there's this fine line basically of like, yeah, you're baiting, right? You're baiting for you're waiting, rather, not baiting, but like you're waiting for the time to activate sprint, and you waited too long, now you're in combat and you get a less effective sprint. There is definitely a sweet spot. Finding that sweet spot is like integral to proper... Finding that sweet spot is basically integral to... something or another. My brain is not working right now. Alright, so I want to auto hit this guy once, and then I'm going to activate standard step. The goal is that standard step will do enough damage to him that he will, I want to get him down one more. Nice, there we go. So, once he gets to 30%, he'll do that same invul on phase a second time. But if you can get him just above 30% and then burst him down from 30 to nothing, you'll skip the second invuln completely. Which is huge, to put it bluntly, because every time you're not able to damage bosses, you're losing time. A lot of the time, there's not really a reason for me to use fan dance procs like that. It's just like habit from when I was just beginning and I wasn't really thinking about my my cooldown usage or anything like that. So we're gonna pop Devilment, activate Tech Step. We will get stopped at the door a little bit, so that means we know we were going fast. Activate it, go right into standard step. And then one fan dance proc. That's all she wrote. Small gold. Not a very big one, but it is a gold, so we will take that. Now, ARF, or Ethereal Chemical Research Facility. This one, there's been some things about this one that I have been really trying to rack my head around. Like, what is fast? What is slow? What is, like, the optimal strat here? And there's two things I discovered. So first off, sprinting right out of the gate is fast. The reason for this is by the time you're done, ideally by the time you're done with the second set, There's no, like, optimal time because of all these walls that appear and the fact that you can't kill the enemies quick enough to get through them. So ideally, the idea here is, like, by the time you're done with this second set of walls, your sprint will be about halfway done, which by the time you finish the last trash pull before the boss, you should basically be ready to go for sprint. That's the ideal situation. So yeah, there we go. As you can see, like, I'm already, like, there's 18 seconds left on sprint's cooldown. Oh, that is a little bit unfortunate. Living with 0.1% sucks.
I will crush you underfoot. Enough.
Little unlucky with damage numbers there. Not like super unlucky, but a little bit unlucky. The other thing was I definitely needed to hold it on to... I needed to hold on to at least one of those Fan Dance procs that I got. One more, anyway. So here, we wait to sprint until we're right here, and we're past the loading zone. Make maximum usage of it. And the main thing about this motherfucker right here, the node, is I want my damaging abilities on it to push it to its 2 thresholds right away, and then I want to come over here and I want to prep standard step, and I want to wait to use standard step until everything is basically in my range, because then I can just kill everything in one hit. And I should be in range for the one bowman to single target it, turn around, and fuck off. Which I was, but I still ran forward for it, just out of habit. So that's something that I did silence out a little bit. That I want to kill the node, and I want to run as far forward as possible. Before, you know, prepping standard step. Now in this case, I don't have standard or tech step, but it's not going to matter all that much. Because you save way more time by using standard step on all those mobs than you do using standard step on that boss. You need bare minimum 3 GCDs to deal with that entire mob. So just using one standard step and like trading an extra GCD or 2 on the boss is perfectly fine. Killed them all in one hit, so it'll continue onward quicker. So far, so good. I'm feeling good about this ARF. It's really going to come down to if I get lucky with, it's going to come down to if I get lucky with Ascian Prime. Because the main thing about Ascian Prime is I can skip his second Involm with the right timing of... I can skip his second Involm with the right timing of, with, like, sorry, not the right timing, but if I skip a specific DPS threshold. But as far as I'm able to tell, the only time I've actually skipped that DPS threshold is when I got lucky with crits and direct hits. So that's something I'm gonna have to watch out for. Also, something I haven't been doing, but something I need to start doing, is I've been something I have been doing that I need to stop doing. I've been standard stepping right out of the gate here with Ige, but the problem with that is Ige has a specific amount of time it takes for her to actually, like, disappear. Because her normal threshold is about 40%, which I've pushed her past, but she won't move past this threshold until then, I guess? That's weird. That was like a little bit of time. So I want to stay standard step for La Habrea, which will delete him instantly. That's the main thing I need to be doing. And then I can Devilment Tech Step on Ascian Prime right out of the gate, which will save the use of Flourish. Here I have a Fan Dance proc, so we're gonna see if I can manage to... Okay. So I may have pushed him past his Invuln? Nope, okay. Again, I'm not entirely sure how you push him past the Invuln, to be completely honest. Oh, wow, jeez. I wasn't aware that I lost 10 seconds. Yeesh. Yeah, okay. There was definitely some bad parts of that. Really slow parts that weren't really getting lucky with damage numbers. Never Reap. Gotta be honest with you, I didn't try sciencing this one out at all. This one's not great. It's just not great. I'm just not a fan of this one. Why'd I sprint here? That was so bad. I don't know why my brain popped sprint. There's no point to sprint until you get to here, basically. So you save this standard step until you get over here, because you can hit everything with it, which will save you some time. And you want to save your Fan Dance procs for the boss. And you want to, before you go into the jump, you want to activate Devilment and Tech Step. Because this boss has Invuln phase, which is based on DPS thresholds. And I got unlucky. Okay. Well, that sucks. Really bad luck on the DPS numbers there. I'm also getting bad luck on its location. Yeah, it was right on top of me, but I just went the exact wrong way. So unfortunate. Yeah. That's definitely gonna be a huge time loss. There's like nothing I can do to speed that up at that point. I'm just screwed. And again, just bad numbers. And then I had this Fountain Fall was ready. I am 100% certain Fountain Fall was ready. Yikes. Yeah. Not happy about that. Gonna be honest with you. Definitely feel like that could have, you know, been screwed a little bit less there. Like, sometimes you insta-burst the boss, like the boss dies immediately. That's like the ideal situation, but you can't hope for it, right? These dommels out of my face. Look, that GCD didn't go off. God damn it, dude. Yikes, yeah. 18 seconds. All that from simple RNG, man. That's why running this the game can be a little frustrating, and definitely why sub 145 is not going to be free at all, like not even remotely. Sub 145 is gonna have to be earned for this category. If I get like a minute behind, or you know, depending on where we are in the run, I might actually reset. Bruh, please. Just die. God, man. Such bad luck on fan dance procs, man. Dancer is both simultaneously, like, the best and the fucking worst for this. Like, it's the best because of all its abilities to move through. It's the worst because it's so RNG heavy. Like, if Dancer had even half the RNG it actually does now, it's like, it'd be so much better in a sense. What do you mean no one was in that one? Yikers, dude. I have a feeling I'm gonna lose time in this FFXIV too. Man, this kind of sucks because, like, I've gotten a lot... My gear item level has gotten so much better since the last run, too. Like, I've gone up, like, probably, I think, 7 or 8 gear levels since the last run. And it just fucking doesn't matter. I know it's not like massive increases in damage and all that stuff, but like, you know, it's still just a bad feeling. But like, theoretically speaking, your stats are better, but you're still performing worse. It's not a good feeling. So I do at least have a saber dance for this guy. See how it goes. Start this before we get on the teleporter. Oh wow, that was actually a fairly big gold. Okay, never mind. I'm gonna chalk that up to just how the last phase went. I felt like that last leg went really well. And the final boss did definitely get like pretty good luck. I had a saber dance, I got decent luck on the fan dance procs, as well as the damage on tech step. Arboretum is just so funny to me, dude. It's so funny to me that a strat that was used, a strat that was used back in the day, like a legitimate strat that everybody did to get through the dungeon faster, is just like a strat that I remember and can apply to a speedrun. It's so fucking funny. Neat. Cool. So the actual funny thing about this is I am not killing these enemies because it's faster. I'm killing these enemies to look very specifically for fan dance procs. Now, sometimes I get really unlucky with fan dance procs here. Sometimes. Other times I get really lucky. So we'll have to see. Ideally, we go in with bare minimum 3. But there's no guarantee. So you can destroy this honeycomb and just completely leave behind all the enemies. And it's very funny. Unlucky. Yeah, it's unlucky that I got that Saber Dance proc so late rather than when I really needed it. If I had gotten that Saber Dance proc, like, even, like, a GCD beforehand, I probably could have skipped the Assail phase there. Because that's the main time save, is skipping the Assail phase there. Being able to avoid outright that invuln phase is, meh, to put it bluntly. See how fast I can burst this guy down. Figured, but that's fine. I can still get it just fine. Great luck. Great luck with Fan Dance procs there. It was a gold, so we'll take that. Back in the green, baby. Damn, that was a big gold, actually. What the fuck? How much of a gold was that? That was a 12-second gold, I think, on top of the time save that we had. But hey, we're back in the green, so we'll take it. Alright, so weirdly enough, this is one of those dungeons where it's just faster to sprint out of the gate. But if I was just a little bit stronger, it wouldn't be. Because basically, the whole point of the sprint is it gets us pretty much right down here to all of these guys who we need to kill. We can stack them all up, and then right here, we can dash off and we can prep a standard step. The reason why we're prepping a standard step is it will kill these guys quicker, but also we don't really need it for the boss. Nice. Okay, I got it still. That timing was a bit weird. Bad luck. Yeah, the other thing is it'll be back up if it doesn't get, you know, bursted immediately. Thankfully an auto attack took it down there. So now we save sprint for after this blows up. This is another one of those cases where we don't necessarily need to kill these enemies, but they're going to aggro to us anyway, so we might as well hit them. Try and get Fan Dance procs in the meantime. The main reason why it doesn't necessarily matter if I kill them or not is because the ability, the thing that's walling me off, is this thing right here. It's a simple bomb incubator. So once I take that out, it's easy to get on down. And what's blocking me from getting through to the next area is these guys here. So there is like an ideal situation where, you know, for one reason or another, I'm able to do like high damage numbers to all those mobs from the previous area, kill most of them, and then like most or all of them, and then just like absolutely destroy the boss. beauty. This is another area where sprinting right away is ideal. I'm delaying it a little bit, just to show it off, I guess. But we start off, kill the bomb incubator, we get all these guys around, hit them a couple of times, and then we'll prep standard step, get up to the door. Oh, that guy wasn't in range. I guess he is a caster, so it makes sense. That's my bad. Should have remembered that he's a caster and that applies. Bit of a weird case here. So this whole sequence is a lot of killing the bomb incubators, but also I need to aggro these guys to bring them over to me, and then kill the bomb incubator. So now that everything's on me, I don't want to pop standard step. But I do want to save standard step for the boss. The fact that I didn't get that kill of Fan Dance is a little bit disappointing. Sprint's back up, so I might as well use it as I go in here. And this is a rare case where we don't open up the final boss with technical step. Very simple reason for this. Technical step will be better used on the second phase of this. So basically the first phase was used to try and gather procs. So that we can kill these guys as quick as we possibly can. But now that the second guy is spawning, we have standard step back up, and we can prep tech step, use it, and then pop standard step right away. So we got a little bit unlucky with tech step numbers. Did get lucky though with standard step numbers. That is a big chunky burst. Really? Okay, yeah, never mind. There's definitely misused sprint, as well as just there's some dumb shit there as well. Man, I lose a lot of time in some of these places, and like, I can't really... I don't know, I don't feel like that was 16 seconds worth of time loss. That's the thing I'm struggling to understand right now, is I don't understand how that was 16 seconds worth of time loss. So the anti-tower is very interesting in the sense that, like, half of the mobs that you fight, 2 of them will always spawn after the fact. So, you know, you can either choose to aggro it from a distance, which will spawn them, and then you can on avant in, hit all of them with your AoE, you know, if one of them doesn't just reposition weirdly for no reason. Or you could run up to them with standard step at this, and then accomplish the same thing. And knowing when is a good time to run forward is also important, because knowing when it's just like, okay, this guy's got one last GCD, single guy left. So like now I think I should run forward because I can auto that guy, kill him, and now we're ready to go right as it starts. So once we get up here, we can immediately Devilment into tech step, have it ready to go, activate Flourish, and it's done with. Standard step likely would have been a better choice than hoping for RNG there between the fan dance procs and everything. But sometimes you make a choice and then you have to live with that choice, which is what I am doing. So I want to kill the spring and doorkeep here as soon as possible, because there are these fire homunculi on the outside. And the lower the spring's HP threshold gets, the quicker they spawn. Sorry, the faster the HP threshold gets lower, the quicker they spawn. So right here, I'm saving my Hanavants on purpose. I am tech-stepping this guy alone on purpose because I want his HP to immediately be going down to the lowest threshold. The reason I want it to be going down to the lowest threshold is because it will spawn all the extra adds right away, which will leave them in a good position for me to take them out. And while I don't have standard step as a result, it ends up just being faster than waiting for the extra GCD. Provided that I get, like, you know, relatively good luck on Fan Dance procs. Which the answer to that question does seem to be, no. Well, sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. Sometimes the game just says no, and that's okay. Ah, rip. I forgot where exactly that went off. It's not the worst thing in the world. I can at least take advantage of it with En Avant. Try and drag this guy a little bit closer, so Saber Dance with everybody. Perfect. Hit all of them with that. Make sure we run in here to spawn the next guys. So we're gonna have a Flourish here, because at this point we need Flourish for not the boss, but where's our hard? We don't need Flourish for the initial phase of the boss. The Flourish will be better for the second phase. So by the time we're done with that phase, Flourish should be back up and we can go into burst mode, basically. Ideally, I probably should have been saving more Fan Dance procs there, but you win some, you lose some, and sometimes your brain is just like, yeah, do it, dude. Either way, it's not really super relevant because that's what you can just do, guys. Just dive into the middle of all of them and activate standard step. Kills all of them. The fact that those two kept moving does definitely suck, but that's okay. Wanna know why it's okay? Because, hey, look, Flourish is back up. Cool. Lost City hard. I've been having a lot of thoughts about how to make this one faster, but a lot of my strategies just don't seem to work. They seem to be too reliant on luck, and I need to have more strats that are less reliant on luck and more about optimization. So for this one, we do sprint right out of the gate. Mostly because there isn't really a good time to properly sprint the sides out of the gate. This would be a pretty good time to sprint, but ultimately it's not up at this point. And right now, it's more like of a concern to me to make sure these unfortunate eggs die before I get to them. Because if they die before I get to them, like, that's the ideal situation for that. I want to make sure I'm under the boss's hitbox here, so that gives me the highest chance of it being targeted. as the primary target for standard step, is what I should say. At least we got one of those. Felt a bit slow. I don't know if... I know tech step definitely hit it first, but I'm not sure if standard step chose it as the primary target. Didn't one-shot it, unfortunate. So this is the point where we sprint here. We'll aggro all of these guys. Hopefully we kill most of them. We want to make sure we aggro the Void Monk here on purpose. We want to bring everybody that is alive into these light. This will make them take more damage, which becomes vitally important to going through this section faster. So right here is a little bit interesting, because on purpose, I actually end up killing one of them quick to spawn the dragon. I also make sure to blow all my cooldowns because I want to kill them as fast as possible. Now, something that's happened here in the past is I've been able to skip an invuln phase here from this boss in the past. But I'm not entirely sure what was the trigger. I'm assuming it's HP thresholds that's the trigger. Because I believe the cast is Ancient Holy. Yeah, and he isn't casting it outright. So that ended up being good because of that not getting the invuln phase. I believe I just have to burst him very quickly right out of the gate. And that's the thing that'll help. Sprinting right out of the gate here is kind of vitally important because the thing that we need to do, this light sprite here, we need to kill this thing ASAP. It's really rude, and it likes to exist in places where it shouldn't. And it causes problems. Nobody likes it. It's kind of just a rude dude. These sets of guys here. We'll get them to spawn, and then we want to get them close. We want to try auto-attacking the light sprite here while we're waiting. Usually, it's a good idea to save your procs of Fan Dance. However, the main reason I'm not saving my procs of Fan Dance here is mostly due to the fact that this boss is unique. So I hit these guys once, and then I standard step. Ideally, they all die from this, but they won't. I would have needed a crit on all of them to do that, which is hella unlucky. Hella lucky to get, rather. Now that that's happened, we're not going to have standard step, and we're not going to tech step. We're actually just going to hit flourish. The reason for this is this boss's HP is really low, but the reason why it's really low is because he has two phases. He has three phases, and every time you kill him, he resurrects. It resurrects rather with damage resistance. So what you end up doing that sends it faster, you use flourish for the first one, tech step the second. Ideally, you get lucky. With Fan Dance procs, but sometimes you're just not. And then yeah, you tech step the third one, and that's like the best way to handle it because you save your biggest burst for right at the end. Perfect. Good gold. So, the thing that I have been searching for here is skipping the first dive bomb here on Gracefelger. So, K-Man apparently completely skipped the very first dive bomb here on Grace Velgar. This was a waste of sprint. I am dumb. I love it when my GCD gets rolled back. It's my favorite. Yeah, so this is a massive waste of sprint. Might as well just use all my on-avant stacks here. But the main thing to note here is these Cloud Gardeners. I want these Cloud Gardeners to be the primary target of my AoE, which all those guys ended up dying relatively quickly, which is weird. I'm not used to them dying that quickly. But anyway, the main big time save in this dungeon is getting as few Midgar Somer, or sorry, not Midgar Somer, is getting as few Hraesvelgr dive bombs as possible. Because every time Hraesvelgr does a dive bomb, he's invulnerable. And as you can imagine, someone being invulnerable is a pain in my goddamn ass, because it makes me go slow. K-Man apparently only saw one in one of his runs, which is the main thing that I'm trying to replicate. For this section here, you only need to kill the eggs, and then there is a trigger here. I believe it is every enemy in the second leg will spawn the next area, or the next wind jumper thingamabobber. I'm gonna get over this guy. I'm not gonna use standard step despite the desire to. Yeah, so as you can see, the little wind thing over here is activated. And I hadn't yet killed all the enemies. So I know for a fact that the trigger for that turning up is not killing all the enemies. My theory right now is it's very specifically killing all of the second leg enemies there. But it could also be something else completely. Nice. Saber Dance procs are always good to see. They do a lot of damage. They're AoE. They're just fucking great, lad. Sprinting right away here because there isn't really a great place to sprint in this final leg of Samal. Not Samal, Sorkai. I'm very specifically single targeting this guy because killing one of them will spawn the trigger for the next area to load, which is this dragon coming up and creating an ice bridge. Ideally, this wyvern is dead so that I can activate Peloton before the ice bridge comes up. And I am just going to standard step this guy because standard step will 100% be up for Hraesvelgr anyway, even if I kill this guy really quickly. There's just that much distance between the boss area and this area as well. Now again, the hope is that we completely skip the first dive bomb here, but I still have completely yet to do so. Yeah. So I did like no damage with that, unfortunately. And try and go at the very least for some Fan Dance procs. I got one. One is fine. So I can pretty safely say that the first dive bomb threshold is 80%. So it might be worth to do like one ability and then do tech step to like consistently get through there. I need to science it for sure. Well, if we're lucky with this load, we'll gold. Yeah, we will. Okay, that's a lot of time save. But, yeah, not having that first dive bomb is going to be huge for time save for this, for sure. So using sprint right away for this one is just straight up not good. You actually want to, like, do flourish for this. Because this entire thing is just dependent, like, entirely on how quickly you can kill these. And getting procs of Fan Dance is kind of actually super important for doing it super fast. I got a lot of procs of Fan Dance there, so that was really good. And I'm just gonna standard set, hit all these guys. Do a lot of damage. The goal is to not kill them outright. Sorry, the goal is not necessarily like to need to kill them. It's just Fan Dance procs. Well, they do have to die, but the goal with that standard step is just like get them low enough, maybe get some Fan Dance for the next thing. And standard step will be up for this anyway. So this is kind of an annoying boss for a few reasons. The biggest reason why this is annoying is it's basically a giant ad face. So we got the ideal situation there, which is like the non-Lalafell is targeted as the main target. Of that standard step. Fuck. Oh shit. That was really bad. That wasn't great at all. Fan Dance procs are important for this for two reasons. Number one, they're fast, and a lot of these girls just have low HP, so you can just kill them outright with either that or a... they weren't close enough? Damn. Guess I really underestimated that. So I have to wait here for quite a while to get sprint, because it's another one of those cases, like in the vault, where the boss actually lingers for longer than the aggro list says. Bruh. Why'd you turn around, game? Quit throwing your poop at me and come fight. This is another one of those cases where on-avanting down this cliff is not actually faster. It has the potential to get me stuck, so I actually don't want to do it. So this is one of those cases, rare cases in this run, where I can tech step the second boss and be fine for the third. And it's great because standard step gets up and I can charge it during an invuln phase anyway. Really bad luck on Fan Dance procs here. Yeah. Oh, this would be over by now if I got like a single extra full Fan Dance. That's unfortunate. Not much you can do when you get bad Fan Dance procs, but, you know, just slows you down. Every extra GCD you have to spend is an extra 2.5 seconds. Or 2.44 in this case, but, you know, apples and oranges. So I do want to do it on this guy just because he's annoying as fuck. Going invisible is not my favorite thing in the world. Wish he wouldn't do that. Perfect. Right, so the main reason you're allowed to tech step the second boss here is if he's not dead by this point, he'll go invulnerable. And that lets you, and that's like the perfect timing to charge up tech step and then just delete the rest of his health bar. Beauty. Alright, Hullbreaker Gold to go with it. Alright, we're down to the last 4 dungeons. Zelfatol, Great Googly Moogly, Samal Hard, and then Baelsar's Wall. Let's see. Let's see if we can take this down. We lost some time here last time, and I'm pretty sure that was due to just really bad luck across the board. Like, I'm pretty sure I just had terrible luck across the board when it came to damage numbers in the last run. So I'm looking to fix that, maybe. That's the damage numbers I want to see. That is so much better. And I get a fucking... I got a Saber Dance proc out of it. Saber Dance damage. Let's go. And 33 seconds ahead is definitely pace for the sub 145. I'm really struggling to think, right? Because I want to believe that at the state that the run is in right now, it can go below sub 140. I'm almost certain, right, that the enhanced echo will be at least as strong as we are right now for doing things solo. So, I'm at least confident that even if it's like maybe level 90 gives you the equivalent of Shadowbringers, maybe it's level 80 that gives you the equivalent of Shadowbringers, how you used to be, right? I'm not entirely sure. But I'm curious if this run could, at some point in its current state, go below the 140 mark. Because I know for a fact, right? I know it for a fact. Jesus, what? What happened? Wolf donated $5. I see. Beautiful. I'm so glad I've been delivered this. I give it $5, Wolf. I appreciate it. You really do like those things, huh? Not that I'm complaining, they are funny. Like, they are definitely funny, but... I gave it a $5, Wolf. I really appreciate it. Oh, they're super catchy. Alright, please give me good damage numbers, dude. Also willing to buy fan dance procs. Okay, that's a good number. Oh my goodness, dude. Crit! Just fucking crit, please! More crits! More direct hits! Oh my lord. It's so slow. It's so slow, please. Thank God, get me out of here. Big goal! Time save! Yeah. Rolling back to what I was saying before, before I got that donation. I know that, like, if I could find a way to consistently skip at least one of the Midgar Summer dive bombs, that is bare minimum, like, 15 seconds, right? That is bare minimum 15 seconds. Probably more. And if I figured out a way to properly skip all of them, I could get, like, 30 seconds on that fight. Which would be utterly ridiculous, to put it bluntly. You be echoing, my friend? What do you mean? How am I echoing? Oh, did you just have 2 tabs open? Okay. Amazing. Mission complete. That right there is why you're the best, boss. That was relatively good luck with procs. I'm cool with that. Let me guess. It was the Streamlabs tab still being open, and after you finish the donation, it pulled up my stream. Because I seem to recall that being a thing. Lord Fluffy with the hard reads. Smile. Wow, max bandits. Max fan dance means that I can do this on this guy, which is great. The damages, dude. The fucking damages, dude. I just devilmented for no reason. That might have been faster than finishing a tech step there. Not entirely sure, but hey, I'll take it. I felt like that was relatively fast. Let's see how far I can take this. Perfect timing on that. As I hit that sprint, they literally aggroed to me. I'll keep going the whole way until we've activated everything we can. And then, once everything's close enough, standard step and AoE things down. Trying to focus on the things from this set of statues back here, first and foremost. The reason why we focus on these is they will be the catalyst to spawn the rest. Mechanical information with Lord Fluffy. Now, I'm on good pace for this dungeon. Depending on how fast I can kill the final boss, this could go really well. Could go really poorly too, but you know. We don't like to account for things going poorly. Alright, so I won't have Devilment for this, but that's fine. We can just Devilment later on, regardless. Devilment isn't even necessarily, like, necessary. It's entirely possible to get a direct hit crit without it, but you just want that extra chance on your highest burst because of how this works. He's getting bursted really fast. We're definitely on gold pace here if we can take him down in like one more GCD. Beauty. Another one. We're a minute ahead. 2 more to go. We're actually on 143 pace now. We've gotten a lot of golds in that regard. Baelsar's Wall, though, dude. Silly Strix. Tricks are for kids. Funny joke. Alright. Auto-scroller aside, didn't really do a whole lot of strat hunting for Baelsars. Basically, my plan here was aggro everything, beat the shit out of everything, drag it all over here, and then start AoEing it down, and try and make sure I killed the archers of the groups, which I got one of them, but I didn't get the other. So rip that. Because if I can get the archers, then I can just drag them right up to the... I can drag all of them right up to the security terminal and not have to backtrack. But the moment I get an archer, that just goes out the fucking window. That's like halfway decent luck with Fan Dance there. Not as decent with the damage numbers, but it's fine. I'll just use both the on-devants there because auto-scroller away. This is why this dungeon sucks. This is why when this was expert roulette with Samal, you wanted Samal every time. Because fucking... absolutely nobody wanted to deal. Absolutely nobody wanted to deal with this auto-scroller. Nice button, Fluffy. Definitely hit the right one. Really proud of you. Yeah. I beat Metroid Dread. Fantastic fucking game. Like, I am struggling in my head to... I'm struggling in my head to think of a game right now that I rate higher this year than the Metroid Dread. How long did it take me? It took me just under 7 hours for, took me just under 7 hours to beat the game, and then an additional 2 hours to 100% it. Oh, this dungeon. Yeah, Hot Wings. The fucking auto-scroller hell with our favorite friend, Griffin, at the end. But, like, the quality of the game, the quality of Metroid Dread, even if it was, like, 10 hours, is, like, fucking 100% worth it. Straight up. Like, Metroid Dread is one of those titles that you can play... Metroid Dread is one of those titles that you can play, like, over and over again because of how fun it is. It's just fun. It's just fucking fun, dude. But even still, like, I am wholeheartedly satisfied with an $80 Canadian purchase for that game, straight up. Alright, you don't want to fuck with extreme caution, so you just put your weapons away, look away. If you fuck with extreme caution, there is a chance you can die. So you want to avoid that chance at all costs. I remember when this dungeon was on content, this little gate here, this load zone, this didn't used to exist. You had to wait for the elevator to come down, get on the elevator, press a switch, make the elevator rise, and if anybody got left behind, they had to call the elevator down again. And it was funny as fuck. It was funny as fuck. So it's weird to me that they changed that after it was in Expert Roulette. Because it was like that for like the entirety of Expert Roulette. But some point in Stormblood, they decided to change it. And I have no idea when they did it in Stormblood, but they definitely did it in Stormblood. This dungeon made you want to yeet yourself off a ledge. I didn't think it was that bad. People have no patience. I didn't think this dungeon was that bad, but it certainly was not my favorite. That was a good procs. In general, just really good.
How'd you like this?
How'd you like this? Sloppy.
I'll tear you limb from limb.
Yeah, bad damage luck. Gonna lose time here.
Sloppy.
Yep, I get it. I get it, Griffin. I was sloppy. You can shut the fuck up now and die. I needed way more crits there. Yeah, 15 seconds certainly doesn't feel good there, but ultimately understandable. Just not good luck on damage numbers there. But we're now on to the final dungeon of Heaven's Sword. Summon hard. I have 22 seconds of time save here. Let's make it happen. Let's make the sub 145 happen. Dude saying sloppy every 5 seconds made you want to scream. That's fair. I found it to be fucking hilarious, personally. But I also understand how someone could find it funny. Or, sorry, how someone could find it annoying. Okay. Average luck on the fan dance procs there. Imagine trying to start a revolution for Alamigo and you get beaten by a Makode dancing on your face. Beautiful. You forgot about the rock-type Bulbasaur boss. It was a good one. The dude needed to put his sock in it after a while. That's fair. Definitely a situation where it does, like... It will get old before it gets, you know... Before you're done with it. Cases where I do want to save technical step despite the pain it brings me to save it. Still laugh at the fact that the thought of the Warrior of Light maining the Dancer class. I don't know, man. Dancer would be cool. Certainly not my class of choice by any stretch of the imagination, but it's cool. Dancer's cool. See, that's the damage numbers I'm fucking looking for, dude. Woo, look at those damage numbers. Let's go. Game popping off, giving me some big ones. Alright, get me out of here. Fighting Xenos and just pull out some fans. Hey, if it works. Motherfucker picked up a goddamn botanist tool and is now using it as a weapon. Don't know what to tell you. If your sub didn't run out, you'd do some dungeons. That's okay. Save your sub money for Endwalker. This coming from the guy whose favorite VTuber is Callie, a Reaper. He makes a good point. Why did I hit Flourish there? That was a wee bit silly. Why did I hit Tech Step? That was also a wee bit silly. I'm using my brain right now. It is very functional. Boy, okay. Sure. Let's just go in without standard or tech step. I should have saved those for burst. So here comes Flourish. Can we get any luck on Fandance procs here? Doesn't seem like we will. Nor will we get much luck with fucking, oh, what the fuck? This is gonna be a huge-ass gold. Wow, geez, that was a fucking huge-ass gold. Holy moly. That was a 617. That was a 23-second gold. God damn. How the fuck did I... What did I do to go through that dungeon 23 seconds faster? What? That feels kind of ridiculous. That honestly feels kind of ridiculous. But hey, that's a new world record. That's a 143. That's not even... I was going for a 144, right? That's a 143. That's fucking good. You tend to blaze through the content. Oh, I'm the same way. Whenever 14 gets new content, I'm like done with it in a day, unless it's like a brand new expansion.